Right, I see the live button on, and we should be good. What is going on, everybody? And welcome back. Where did my DA go? There it is. I don't know why, but it disappeared. But what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Dark Avenger Live. Last week, I'm going to start the show off apologizing for last week. Last week, some crazy stuff happened. I ended up saying I'd be right back, walked away, came back, started doing the show again. Other stuff started happening in my background. And then I ultimately just kind of ran off the show. I had to deal with a couple of things. Everything's okay. I know a few people got worried that watched the show post live. Some people wrote me. Everything was okay. It was just something I had to deal with. And it kind of took me away. So the show ended a little bit early. So I apologize for last week. This week, everything should be good. We should have a nice show. Maybe we'll go a little bit longer to make up for what happened last week. Got JD in the comments. Right, what's up, JD? I'm going to be talking about what we're doing momentarily, actually. There's a lot to talk about this week. So we have a wide variety of things to talk about. We're going to talk about – I'm glad you're good. Thank you so much, JD. So we're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk about Marvel. There's a lot of stuff that's come out of Marvel. We're going to be talking about some zombie stuff because zombies have just I don't know. I've had the itch lately for zombies. But we'll talk about some zombie stuff. We're going to talk about Marvel. We're going to talk about some really cool stuff with the channel. And then, of course, I'm also going to reshare with everybody why I went with a really cool, if you've been following the group, I'm sorry, I should have actually grabbed this before going live, but I now have it up again. There's been a lot of developments going on. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about the written channel because I've been talking about it for a while now. And I'll tell you one thing, Corona, the virus, which led to the quarantine, and now we're all kind of at home as things are going on, it's allowed me and it's allowed many people to do a lot of things that normally, because, we work and life just keeps moving forward, we wouldn't be able to do because we're stuck at home for one reason or another. So I think I'm going to start with that one, actually. Ever since the virus and ever since we've been inside, I've been able to catch up on comic series. I've added 22 books to my pull list, which some of them now, some miniseries are no longer on that pull list because they went digital only, but we're going to talk about that when we get to Marvel. But I've been able to read books I normally wouldn't have been able to because I have a lot of books that I'm already reading. So it's allowed me to kind of slow down and catch up on things that I might have missed out on. And there is quite a bit that I've missed out on. Virus bad, Marvel good, Dark Avenger good for all. Thank you so much, JD. So, I got into a lot of really cool series. I went over that this week. I shared my updated pull list. So I've gotten into a lot of series. So that allowed me to kind of come back and catch up in the comic realm. I've been really sitting back and doing work with Celestial. There's a few things going on behind the scenes, so I've been able to catch up on writing a bit. And then really it's been a lot of getting things done that normally would take a lot longer to get done. And this week I worked a lot on just getting in my own mind because a lot of things happen. A lot of things have happened. As my close friends would know, it's not public knowledge for everyone, and I'm not looking to drag any public knowledge out there towards certain events that happen. Why does that always happen to me? That happened, that have happened. So I just got in my own mind, and these are situations, and this is going to lead into possibly me writing. This is going to be one of my written subjects on Shooting Star Universe. Is that you go over certain things that have gone on in your head and you pretend like you're back in that situation and what you would have done differently or what you would have said differently or what you would have said that you said nothing to, I've been playing that game with a few situations for too long, in my opinion. So I kind of just sorted that whole situation out in my mind, and then it also led me into thinking about writing. I opened up Shooting Star Universe a year ago almost now because I wanted to have some place where I could share all of my thoughts, whether it be in writing, just sharing, a day of my, something that happened during the day, something that's going on, whether it be comic news or anything. It was supposed to be a website where I did what I used to do on MySpace all those years ago, where people really got interested in reading a lot of my writing. And a lot of my writing was just talking about, I literally just sat there and bullshit. I sat there and wrote a whole post once about something that was going on in the world, and tons of comments for it. And, you know, I put in my 2 cents. Now, the things I never talk about, obviously, are the things that are the most confrontational: religion, politics. I know, but politics have always bored me, so I never really got into politics. And religion, again, everybody knows what religion I am. I respect and love every religion there is out there. So I don't really talk about my religion. I don't really do a lot in that respect either. So there's really not as much for me to talk about in that respect. But there's just shooting the breeze, talking about life. I remember back in the day during MySpace, I used to Resident Evil 4 was out at the time. And every day I'd play the game a little bit, and then I'd come back, and it's crazy. I'd sit there and actually write my walkthrough. I literally sat there and wrote out however long I played. I wrote from the moment I started the game to the moment I ended it, and shared how I felt about the situations as I was going through it in the game. And for some reason, it was a really broad, huge playthrough slash review slash just reaction, because I was sharing how I was feeling as I was playing the game. And that brought in a lot of people, actually, when I did that piece, those pieces. I mean, it was several posts, but if you put them together, you're talking about a good day's worth of reading, because they were long posts, and everybody who's played Resident Evil knows that's a long game. The faster way to piss off people. So, exactly, and I'm not doing that. So I want to get back to that. And then it goes back to where I'm at now in my mind. And it's like, I feel like because I'm writing Celestial Falcon, because I am now trying to get a lot of my written work out there, I'm very, very, I'm making sure I don't go too far with my writing. There's a piece of censorship that a lot of people, expect, I think. And there are certain things that I'd love to talk about, but then I sit down, I write it, I read it, and I'm like, is that going to be good, though? Because I don't want to make this situation become something, and then it comes back to haunt me as a writer, as doing my books. So I end up censoring my shelf. Yes, I censor my shelves, and then I censor myself. And I don't know. I feel like I see people like my good friend Pat Shand, who will talk about anything and everything. And his books are selling amazing. And I love Pat. Pat is an amazing guy. I hope to have him as a guest on the show. We'll talk about that also, because that's kind of where I had to run off last week. I'd love to have him as a guest on the show. I think Pat has a really great thing going with all of his books. And again, he's uncensored. He says and does whatever he wants. Now, again, with the cursing, if you've been here on this channel specifically from the beginning, at the very beginning, I would say well beyond even episode 100, I cursed a bit on the channel. I made the conscious decision at one point to pull away from cursing, and that was my choice. And believe me, I think it works best in my case, because when I do drop an F-bomb for one reason or another, for whatever reason it is, you know that some big shit just happened, that I just dropped the F-bomb again. So in that case, I'm not saying I'm going to uncensor myself language-wise. That's not where I'm going with this. Where I'm going is, I want to be able to write and feel like I have the freedom to talk about and share whatever I want within reason. There are certain things that are, things that you don't write about, and I never did write about them to begin with. So, okay. So it's just, there are certain things where I feel like if I want to write about something that's going on in my life, I don't want to have to sit there and go, oh, wait, do I really want to do this? Because then it's going to come back. Will it come back to haunt me? They're going to be like, oh, he writes this book, or, oh, he does this on the internet. Don't like that. And, that's disgusting. And then, comes back somewhere. Oh, didn't you say this at one point, or didn't you cause this? And it's like, And I never do. I never go for the drama. I'm all about skipping out on the drama as much as humanly possible. But I'm very good at getting my feelings, my thoughts, and stuff out on paper. And even if it means taking people's names and not saying specific people's names, just saying this person did something, and not saying who the person was. It could be a person on the street. It could be a friend. It could be anybody. And not literally going out there and saying Pete did this or Jeff did that or whatever, just saying, hey, there was this guy and we got into this today. I feel like I haven't had that freedom. And I feel like I have been, and I've talked about this before, I feel like I have been censoring myself. And that's kind of why I've written several different things. I'm not good at that. JD, I've seen your work. I believe it. So, I want to have the freedom to write what I want to write. And unfortunately, there are things that I'd love to go back in time and write about, going back again to replaying certain situations over. I would have loved to have maybe getting certain things off my chest or getting things out in writing, sharing certain things would make me as a person move forward faster. I guess that's always why MySpace was like my place to be when they had blogs, because I was able to get my emotions out. And I really felt like, number one, I entertained people because people were reading. B, I got my own emotions out. I got to share my emotions with a bunch of people. And then C, it's just sometimes, getting things out makes you inside feel better. And for those of you, or for certain situations that have happened in the past, that obviously I'm not going to go back in time and start saying, hey, what happened this time or what happened 3 years ago or 2 years ago. Well, I'm going to write about it now. No. So people in those situations, count your chickens and thank God you're lucky I'm not making you famous. But moving forward, especially because I'd love to be able to write and feel like I don't have to worry about, it coming back to me. That's one of the more important things. And I feel like that will make me as a person grow. I feel like a lot of people will be interested in a lot of the things that I write. And maybe I can help somebody out with something they're going on. You know me, I have stories. Yes, you do, JD. Yes, you do. So written site, I have a lot of things I want to share. And also, being a reviewer, I do want to work with all the companies that I talk about their books. I love Marvel. I love DC. I love Boom Studios. I absolutely love IDW. Dynamite, I really want to get more books from. I mean, we've got a shipment coming from TKO Studios. I'm looking forward to that. Valiant, I've started getting into. Zenoscope is another place I love to frequent. We've talked about Zenoscope books on the channel before. I know I'm leaving a few. Image, especially. What am I crazy? Image, Dark Horse. I want to have a working relationship as a reviewer, as a person who loves to share the medium with everybody. As much as I love writing, I also love talking about books that are coming out. So I want to have I want to build a relationship with all of these companies in a way where I can share the stuff that they're releasing and also get people into their books. So again, that goes back to me in my mind going, will companies want to support me or want to send things my way if I'm going to talk about X, Y, and Z? And one thing that I've learned in all my time doing reviews is, if you have absolutely nothing good to say about a comic book, that's the comic book you skip on the review, or you find something positive while saying that you didn't like the book, but this would be great for this kind of person. That's something I learned. I've been doing this 10 years. That is something I learned. I wish I could say really fast. Unfortunately, it wasn't. This is something I learned over the course of a few years. And that's how I go moving forward. Because every story, especially as a writer, every story is a writer's baby. Every story is an artist's baby. You may not like the artwork in a book. You may not like the story in a book, but that was written by someone. That was drawn by someone. It means something to somebody. So while you want to be honest in reviews and you do want to call something out when something's wrong, sometimes to somebody else, it's great. I don't like Bendis' run on Superman. A lot of people don't. But there are certain people that do. A lot of people like the direction Brian Michael Bendis has put Superman in. So in my case, I just don't read Superman anymore, or I don't talk about Superman anymore for the time being. eventually maybe Bendis will do something and it's like, oh, you got to check this out, and I'll check it out. Or Bendis moves off the book, a new team comes on, or teams, because he's on all the Superman books right now. And I go, okay, I'm going to try this out again. I'm going to see what this team's going to bring to Superman. And that's just how I feel. And again, I want to be able to have the freedom to write what I want to write, because I feel like it makes me genuine. You know, I'm a human just like everybody else, and people go through ups and downs. And yeah, that's just it. And any company knows that Comic Frontline, we work with a wide variety of comic book companies. And that's the goal for this channel, is to get to work with those companies as well. Being a part of Frontline, you know, they already are aware of all of our individual channels. Well, here I want to build up too. So this way, when things come out or come the reviewers' way, they go to Frontline, but they also come here. That's the goal. I want to have that banter where I could share news with all of you, where I could share my opinions on things going on, and then share also all the books that are coming out. And, you know, you guys know I love doing hauls. And that's another goal, is to be able to get to a point where I'm able to give you all some of the best hauls possible. And then giveaways. I'm working on several really awesome ideas for giveaways. I do want to give back to the community that's given me so much already. And believe me, this channel went all over the world and back again. So anyone who ever did choose to stick around after all the craziness, or has stuck around, or has found the channel and decided to stick around, I appreciate that, and I want to give back to the nation. That's what this is, the Dark Avenger Nation. So I'm working on all of that, and that is why ultimately I chose to open up a Patreon account, because the Patreon account will allow me to do more in a faster pace than where I'm going now. I want to get things moving. I want to get the ball rolling. Now, as I've said before, things on this channel will never become exclusive. Everything I do here is public for everyone. I do have stuff that if I start getting patrons on Patreon, it will be exclusive to them, but that's me doing extra work. I'm going to be making extra things for patron exclusively, but it's extra. Nothing will ever be taken away from this channel right here. This is the channel. This is the baby that started everything and where everything will be. And even stuff that's exclusively on Patreon, maybe a year, maybe a half a year from then, maybe I'll make it public on YouTube as well. Maybe not. Some stuff, if you check out the tiers, some of the stuff actually is stuff that wouldn't fit on this channel. So it would be exclusive on Patreon. But again, it's nothing that I'm taking away. It's extra stuff I'm putting on myself to do to entertain anyone who's willing to give back more to the channel. And again, this is a community that I'm looking to grow and build, myself being the video maker and all of you being the viewers. The viewers are the most important thing to me. And it goes into like writing. When a writer writes, you write the story from, you always write, this is how I write. I write stories from the heart. Celestial Falcon, for example, I wrote only one story, the first part, the first arc. And the reason I wrote it was 9/11. Everybody was in turmoil. I watched a girl in my class break down because her father was in the World Trade Center that was hit. I watched everything in New York fall to darkness. And it was in my mind that this is the time where heroes are the most important. And you saw DC made a whole graphic novel about if the DC heroes were in New York, what they would do. And then Marvel followed suit and said, if this happened in the Marvel universe, this is what would happen. So I wanted to create something, a symbol for hope outside of the comic realm, in my own story realm. And I did. And I created this story, and I shared it with friends. I shared it mostly with my immediate family, just because I wanted to give somebody something fun to read, something hopeful, something great. And from that, people were like, well, what's next? And it's like, I mean, there can be a next. I could spark, some ideas could spark up in my mind. And they're like, this, I would definitely love to know what happens next. As a writer, you write to entertain people. And the fact that people were wanting more of Celestial, that made me want to do more for Celestial. I've written stories in almost every single genre now. I've been blessed to have that time and that ability to write in several different genres. But if I'm only writing for myself, I'm not accomplishing anything. So writers write for the readers. We write for all of you, just like I do these videos for all of you. If I was not doing anything or if I was not giving anything to somebody, there's no point to this. It's a selfish, oh, I want to do it because I want to do it. And there are people that do that, and that's great, because you know what? They are entertaining people anyway. But as a writer, I want to be able to give 110% to my readers and more. And that's why I get so excited when a new Celestial Falcon book is in the works, coming soon. Brant and I are working on that, coming soon, right about Bigfoot. There actually is a Bigfoot program I watch. So, I mean, Alan, it wouldn't be too far-fetched. Just saying. Welcome to the live show, by the way, Alan. But I love to give. That's what I feel writers should be doing. They write because they want to write for their readers. They want to give to their readers. That's the most important thing. If you're not writing to entertain people, then, I mean, I know people write for other reasons. Awesome for them. For me, it's all about giving something back to people. And one thing I love about Celestial is every arc, the main character learns something. We're not starting off where he's a superhero. You know, he's got his clothes, his uniform. He's a superhero. Skip all the growing up. No, we are starting just like the way they did with Spider-Man, just like the way they did with several teen superheroes. We are starting at the moment where you are in the most awkward period in your life, where you are in that period of your life where you start learning those hard life lessons. We are starting right in high school. The high school years, anyone can tell you, those are some of the roughest years. Now, yes, grade school is rough too, but high school, that's where everything gets kicked up another level. You're talking about maturity, the hormones, the getting ready for, the building up for college, figuring out what you want to do when you become an adult, your profession. There's so many different things. What program? I watch several programs, Alan. I watch a lot on the Discovery Channel. There's a YouTube channel I watch where they chase after Bigfoot. I don't watch the Travel Channel thing. There's a Travel Channel program. Looks kind of stupid. I don't know if that's for real or if it's joking around, but no, but I love to give back to people. I want to give. I want to be able to have people entertained and enjoy what they see, what they read, everything, the whole 9 yards. And that's why when it comes to writing, yes, I'm going to go a bit uncensored. Yes, some people might be like, why are you bitching and complaining about this? I'm not saying every post I write is going to be bitching and complaining. Honestly, if I do one of those posts every 6 months, that would be a lot. But you know what? That statement alone, I'll get shot in the foot if I do it twice. But I don't normally do stuff like that. I like to give more than just complaining about the world. I leave that to the TV news and reporters and stuff like that. I don't like to focus on the negative. I like to focus on the positive, or I like to highlight things that I feel that are important to talk about. So yeah, maybe once or twice I'll say, this shit happened today and I'm annoyed and this is what happened. Or, well, sometimes you don't give details, but this and that happened. And, I don't understand how, people feel this way or that way or the other way, and just, go into a little minor thing and then come back and bring myself back in and just talk about something else for a little while and then move forward. There's a lot of things to talk about in my life right now, I feel, and just in general, there's a lot of stuff to talk about with the comic industry, with the video game industry. I know a lot of you, when it comes to comic books, it's comic books, period. I've been asked to do video game stuff on this channel. It didn't work. The best thing for this channel is the comic books and comic related stuff. That's what's staying on this channel. I have a secondary channel now, so that might be where everything else goes whenever I have the extra time to do it. My main focus right now is right here on DA, and that's why this past weekend, I've loved Mike Spider Slayer's intro forever, and I wanted to finally pick an intro for myself and have that for videos moving forward. I really wanted to build this channel up, so I finally found one. And it debuted 3 videos ago. I'm going to screen share again now. Yeah, I understand. Chrome has bugs. We understand that. Yeah. See, it slowed down for a minute. We're going to go to that. I don't care. And I'm going to show it to anyone who missed out or hasn't watched any of the videos yet, I'm going to bring that. Yep. Okay, good. So we are going to look at this together. Now, I hope that the volume's on for this. I apologize if it's not, but we are going to play it. So this is the new intro that I ended up making for the channel. It'll debut in the front of every single video except Dark Avenger Live. I have something else in mind, JD wink wink. So let's look at it. I don't know if you could hear it. You can't see it. It's not showing. Well, that's weird. Why isn't it showing? It should be showing. If I hit play again, will it work? No, it's not showing. Well, that's weird. Let's just share the whole screen. Share the entire screen. See if that works. Let's see. Bring that down. Share screen. Share audio. Okay. Let me do it again. I'm sorry, everybody. So let's see if it works. Yeah, now it'll work. All right. So this is the new intro. Oh, wait a minute. Whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. That one cannot be played on YouTube. Oh, boy. Stops retailing. I picked the wrong one. I knew I picked the wrong one. There it is. Sorry, that was the one that I shared on Facebook. If you'd like to check out Dark Avenger Nation, you can check that out there. But here we are going to rewind and so that is the new intro that will be in the beginning of every video, unless I have to rush it to upload, which hasn't happened yet, thank God. And we're going to hope that it doesn't happen moving forward. So this way we can have that really awesome intro for everything. Close that now. So that's something new that I'm working on for the channel. Next week, I will not be doing a top 5. Next week is going to be a bit busy, but the good news is, and I started talking about this last week before I had to run off also, is top 5 is going to have a place on this channel when new comics come out, which, as a matter of fact, we did get a nice amount of books this week from DC, and we'll talk about that also real quick. I just want to, or did we talk about that last week? We might have talked about books that came out that were coming out this week. Batman the Outsiders, Flash. Yeah, we talked about all that last week. I'm looking at this coming week. Cool. Thanks, Alan. Glad you liked it. But yeah, we got a nice amount of books that came out of DC this week. And then Marvel released Dr. Aphra digitally, issue number 1. So I might check that out just to see. I know they are releasing Dr. Aphra physically in another couple of weeks. But I think that's a perfect segue to Marvel announcing that 7 of their miniseries and 1 of their ongoing series are now taking a digital-only format. They're literally changing them mid-series, except for one. 2020 Ironheart, issue number 1, is premiering as a digital-only series. Everything else is either towards the end of its miniseries or in the middle of an arc when it comes to Ghost Spider. If they were to do this, I agree with what a lot of people are saying, and they should have started with an issue number 1. My worry is they are testing the waters to see if physical sales for a book are no good, that they will switch it to a digital-only format. So if this is successful, which it looks like it might be, what Marvel will do is, let's say a miniseries is not selling well or nobody's really enjoying it. They'll say, okay, issue number 5 or issue number 3 is the last physical book, and then 4, 5, and 6 are going to be digital only. But if you want it physically, you can get the trade paperback later. And that's going to leave a lot of gaps. I hope I'm wrong about that. That's a prediction. With these miniseries, though, I have Savage Avengers, I have Star. I literally just bought Star and Savage Avengers, as a matter of fact, during this time of no new comics to continue them physically, single issue wise. And I forget, I get Ghost Spider, but Ghost Spider I was already collecting physically in trade. But still, you're talking about a handful of miniseries that I literally just bought the physical single issues for, that now you're telling me, no, you need the trade paperback. We're not doing the rest of the single issues. Doesn't sit well with me. And also, again, so what will allow Marvel to determine which miniseries should be physical and which miniseries should be digital? Because if the readers don't read the first issue, how are you going to gauge whether, and even the first issue knows good, you got to go to the second. How are you going to gauge which series should be digital only and which series will be physical and digital? I think personally there's room in the market for both. If you're going to do digital first, cool. Marvel and DC have both done that. And also, and this is why I'm talking like this, is a digital book is the exact same price as a physical book, $3.99, physically or digitally. If you are going to start doing this digital only route, please consider lowering the price, because you ain't, honestly, I will not pay $3.99 for a book digitally that's the exact same price as a physical copy. If it's not physical, if I can't keep it in my collection, because if the internet goes down, or if the website decides, oh, we're going to edit a comic like they did with Batman Damned issue #1, you ain't going to be getting that comic right away. You ain't going to be reading that comic while they're editing it. So again, I say, if you're going to do things, put it out in both formats, digital and physical, unless you're going to shrink the digital price down to about $2, because that's how much books are worth without counting the printer. I believe the printer and the distributor, I would say they're worth about $2, maybe not even, maybe $1.50, because you literally, all you're doing is your artist and your writer and the letterer, everything that goes into the book before print, and nobody's distributing it because it's all coming out on the computer. So I would say anywhere from $1.50 to $2, unless it's an oversized book, then you could talk about $3-4 for a bigger book. But otherwise, these books should not be the exact same price as a physical issue. They should be a lot lower in price. Then I wouldn't complain as much. But if you're going to charge the exact same amount of money, there's a problem. And you're not going to have me buying any of those books from you, at least not digitally. And to be honest, I'm a little soured on the fact that I literally just bought Star and Savage Avengers, that I probably will not. I know with Frontline, we probably will still be getting those books. But as far as having physical copies of them, I probably will not buy the trade, because I already spent a nice amount of money on the miniseries. I think Star is only going 6 issues, so we're at issue 3. And Savage Avengers is at issue 4 of 5. I'm not going to pay a trade paperback for price for just 2 issues. No way. No, thank you. So that being said, not even a day later, they also announced that exclusive to top retail stores, they're going to be giving top retail stores a advanced copy of Black Widow issue #1, the variant. So that Midtown's going to get it. DCBS will probably get it. Well, no, DCBS, they do month in advance orders. So Black Widow issue #1 is going to pop up for a select group of stores. And Black Widow #1 is not slated to come out, I think, until June, July. We don't even have a date yet for the first Black Widow, but the series itself is delayed. So first they announced digital-only series. Then they announced, we have a physical book that's going to be coming out early, and it's only going to select stores. That book's going to sell out so fast. Good luck to anyone who gets it. And it's the variant for the first issue. I mean, look, if I see it, I'll probably order it, because I want to read it. I want to try Black Widow issue #1. But we don't know when issue 2 is coming out. I don't know. I feel like I had a picture of what do you want? What do you want, Marvel? You're announcing digital only, then you're announcing releasing an issue early, physically, so that people can read it, and only do a select few stores. When they said that the comic industry was never going to be the same again, if you look at what's going on right now, they were 100% correct. DC is distributing now. Marvel's throwing out a billion different plans, one being digital and one being exclusive early releases. And then you got independents that are going to slowly be coming back as of the 20th, with Diamond distributing coming back. Like I said, DC's already releasing. Marvel isn't coming back till the week after Diamond, so they're not coming back till the 27th. DC's not going to be releasing any heavy hitter books until June. Marvel's going to be releasing single issues one week, trade paperbacks the next week for the whole month of June, and then their heavy hitter books aren't coming out until July. We're going to be playing catch up for the next 2 or 3 months until we finally catch up to where we're at now. Previews is still coming out for completionists, and it's going to have books that need to be reordered or resolicited, and future books as well. It's what's going on. It's crazy out there. That's Marvel for you. Exactly. But it's crazy. Everything that's going on is insane right now. Everything is so crazily put together, and everybody's releasing at different times, and what company's only releasing a handful of books a week, and then the next company is going to do comics 1 week, books the next week. By the time we get back to a norm, we're going to be in 2021, and that's if they don't have to all stop and try to play catch up with themselves and then release new stuff. This could have been done a lot smoother than it was. And then you throw in 2 more distributing companies now that practically no local comic book store wants to follow. They all want to stay with Diamond. And you've just made a situation that all you had to do is wait till May 20th, and you made it into a complete and utter mess. Look, as a reader, I want my books as soon as possible. I will say I'm very happy that Marvel and DC really tried to work something out where fans can get the books as soon as possible. But when Diamond said, hey, the 20th we're going to reopen, that's when every company should have said, okay, we will not release anything until May 20th. We'll let, the distributors start distributing books on the 20th. Marvel, if anything, I give them credit. They're not doing it till the week after Diamond comes back. So they're giving everybody a little bit more breathing room. DC Comics started at the end of May, and a lot of people got upset about that in local comic shops. Again, though, DC hasn't released anything huge. I think this week, was it this week or was it last week now? Next week is going to be where some big books start coming out here and there and everywhere. I'm going to check this week's books really quick again. No, I'm sorry. This week had a couple of books that were pretty big. The Flash, Wonder. Oh, no, that's a digital only. The Flash, Joker, Harley, Criminal Sanity. If you're reading House of Whispers, Hawkman, Batman the Outsiders, like I was saying, Gotham Knights, Green Lantern. And then, like I said, with Marvel, Dr. Aphra was released early. Otherwise, there's really nothing huge. No events, no big books are being released right now, just so that everybody can come back in slowly. And I appreciate that from both Marvel and DC. Look, I can't sit here and say the companies are wrong or the companies are bad. They're trying to take this situation and bring a positive out of it. And I'm not going to sit here and damn them for it because, again, they want readers to get their hands on their books as soon as possible. We are in a place right now where we are stuck inside, where we're asked to social distance from one another. And old comics have definitely helped me get through a few weeks. Like I said, I've caught up to a bunch of different series and now have more on my pull list. Look, things are going to be confusing probably till August. Let's just hope that once we get to August and every company's releasing at a timely schedule again and nothing's being held back and everything's starting to flow again, that things will just be back to normal and we'll just start talking about books again. Top 5s for Frontline are going to be very interesting, I think, for the month of June and for parts of July until everything starts to flow out again. And again, we're going into different schedules. Things will push back. Things will push to different dates. And I'm curious to see. It's going to be fun. It's definitely going to be fun because 1 week there'll be Marvel single issues and then the next there won't because Marvel's skipping on in June every other week. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But it's very confusing. And honestly, I feel what would have been best was once Diamond said, we're coming back the 20th. No one wanted to back up really. the other distributing companies, only a handful of stores, or maybe more. I don't know. I wasn't following this. I don't own a comic shop. But stores were not, a lot of people were not happy. How many? I can't tell you. So it would have been easier if everybody started at the same time. It's kind of too late now. DC is already is already moving forward, and Marvel's getting ready. The only thing, again, I'm a physical person. I like having physical books. So Marvel announcing certain books are going digital only for the review. If we get it as a book to review, then yeah, I'm going to continue it, especially because I love Ghost Spider. I loved Savage Avengers, and I loved what was the other book? Star. I enjoyed that. But if it's something that our group isn't getting through our Comixology, then I'm not reading it because I'm not paying regular price for a digital book. Even Amazon sells digital books cheaper than their physical counterparts. So I spent way too much time talking about that. So let's move on to what else do we want to talk about here? Zombies. I've had a zombie itch lately. I don't know why, but for some reason, I forgot what I was watching. I'm just in the mood for a good zombie game and or comic. And at this point, I believe there is a zombie comic coming out from AWA. So it's only a matter of time before I scratch the reading itch. But gaming wise, I've bought several zombie games that I have not had a chance to play yet. World War Z, DayZ, Zombie Army 4, State of Decay 2, and Dead Island's Definitive Edition. And I want to play them. I really do. I just have this itch lately that I want to survive a zombie apocalypse. And also, if I do have the ability to get my PSVR out, I'd love to do the new Walking Dead VR. But I didn't buy that yet. I don't own it. I don't own it yet. So we'll see. But JD actually premiered on his channel State of Decay 2, the Juggernaut edition. And he got James and Mark interested, and these are people I play with on Xbox. And we might actually be scratching that itch. And then I mentioned that on the Game Pass, there's also DayZ, there's also World War Z, and Dead Island 1. So we might scratch that zombie itch for a little while, and I might stream some of it just to have some. Sometimes when it comes to zombies, it's just one of those crazy moments where you're just sitting there and you just survive and you just have a good time doing it, and that's what we're going to be doing. And I'm looking forward to that. A little bit of zombie mayhem wouldn't be such a bad thing. So it's something that we might start tonight, something we might start, next couple of days. But I've been wanting to play State of Decay. I think I only did the opening hours of State of Decay. So I'm going to be happy to get back into it because I think I only did the tutorial, if even. By now, maybe I'll have to start the whole thing over again because it's a different edition. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into State of Decay, at the very least. But let's see. We talked about that. We talked about I did talk about my Patreon. I talked about my writing. Talked about why we left early last week. Shared the intro. So a lot of really fun stuff is going to be coming to the channel. I'm really working on some really cool stuff being brought back. I mentioned haul videos. I would love to get back into some of the Marvel stuff that they have, like the Marvel Collector Core. And this is, of course, looking to the future, but I'd love to bring in Marvel Collector Core again because I love Funkos. I'm going to share these two Funkos with y'all in a moment. But I enjoyed a lot of the Comic Blind, subscription boxes. So I'm going to work on bringing that back. I'm going to work on, like I said, doing some type of a haul. I am actually working on a, I don't want to call it a quarantine haul or a coronavirus haul or whatever. Maybe I'll just call it no new comics haul. And I'm actually waiting for 2 more deliveries. Both of them, one's coming tomorrow and one is coming, I think, Monday. So if Monday the delivery comes, that's going to be the video for next week. It'll be my coronavirus or no new comic books haul. And I'm going to show off all the books that I bought since we went into quarantine and we were not able, when all the new books stopped coming out. So I'll share that with everybody. My birthday's coming up, so we're counting down to that. I believe we have how many more Fridays until the 29th? We have 3 more Fridays until the 29th. Today's the 8th. So we have the 15th, the 22nd, and then third one is the 29th. So we're going to do maybe something special on the 29th. Fingers crossed. Maybe we'll do some Mario Maker, have some fun. But we'll definitely do something on the 29th as well. But I'm thinking, Collector's Core, do some fun stuff like we used to do on this channel. And then also the reviews will be back. Once we start getting more than just a handful of DC books back, I will start the Dark Avenger comic book review up again. Right now, out of all the books that have released, all I'm reading is The Flash. I'm behind on Joker, Harley, Criminal Sanity. And really, that's about it. I mean, Dr. Aphra, again, I would wait for the single issue to come out, or we might discuss it on Comic Frontline this coming Tuesday. But really, it's 2 books. I don't feel like 2 books is warranted for a comic review series. So probably, if not the 20th, maybe not even the 27th, we might start fresh with June, the first week of June. And we'll allow for books to start streaming in again. But I will save certain books like Birthright. I definitely want to review. And I'll save certain books on the side and make it, I'll do that week's books plus a couple of extras just the ones that I want to cover for the review. But otherwise, I'm probably going to waiting until the first Wednesday of June. So we have a possible tentative date for when the reviews are coming back. Dark Avenger Live, we're going to keep doing what we're doing here, and hopefully people will start coming by again. We're trying to build this channel up, trying to build the Facebook up. I'm really looking to put 110% into the channel and to all social media connected to it as well. So I'm really hoping, like I said, my goal is to definitely build connections with comic companies, with whether they're the big 2, whether it's the big independents like Image, IDW, Vertigo, Vertigo's gone, wow, Valiant, Boom, to creator-owned companies, to companies that are brand new like AWA and TKO. I'm looking to do some trade paperback reviews again, or overviews. Again, I'm really looking to do a lot of stuff here and really get some really cool stuff out to each and every one of you. And that's the goal. Moving forward, that is the goal. And once this becomes an office, I'm looking to build some shelves. Probably they'll be over here. This couch will probably stay here. Maybe it'll move over a little bit to fit 2 shelves. And we're going to start building up a trade paperback collection for those shelves. I already have a trade paperback collection, but like a shelf version of trade paperback collection for background and for everything else. And obviously streams are going to have better quality because it's going to be on a computer. I'm looking to hook up a computer. Right now I'm working specifically off a laptop. So things are going to stream better. Things are going to look better. Live shows are going to be better. Tech for the room or for the office is going to be better. And I feel like all of this is going to help benefit the channel. And then, as I said, moving forward, once we move further and further away from this from the coronavirus, from being in a, it's people call it a lockdown. I say, we're at a stay-at-home order. Once we get past the stay-at-home order, once things start to open up again, we're really going to start to have some fun on this channel. And honestly, I'm having fun doing Dark Avenger Live now. I mean, we're going to be having even more fun as we move forward. And we're going to have, I should have brought something to drink for this. We're going to have a blast. There's going to be a lot of stuff. This channel is definitely going to explode. Honestly, I had plans for the summer, and that fell through when the stay-at-home order opened up and this virus took over the world. But yeah. So, okay. So hopefully once the virus disappears or once things get under control, we will be able to, I'll be able to get the stuff I wanted to get done for this channel, or get the stuff that I wanted to do for this channel rolling. Today I actually went to Walgreens. I got to share this. It's really funny. I went to Walgreens because we needed milk, and Walgreens never disappoints. Never disappoints when it comes to their Funkos. Sometimes they have nothing, but when they have something, they have something. Now the box is a little room for this one, but I was able to get 2 types of exclusives. I got a Walgreens exclusive, and then I got a limited edition Funko Spring Convention exclusive. So I got a Gambit Spring Funko exclusive, and what makes him exclusive is he's holding his staff instead of having the cards, and he's throwing the cards. This one, he's holding his staff. There's actually a Rogue that's exclusive also, and she's a Hot Topic exclusive. So I might, to go along with Gambit, I might see when things open up again and Cindy goes back to work, she has a Hot Topic near her job, I might see if I can get the Rogue. This one, was the first one I saw, and it was the last one in stock that they had, and I had to grab it. I love Beta Ray Bill. Beta Ray Bill it's a Walgreens exclusive, and it's to celebrate the 80 years of Marvel. That's why everything's in silver, and that's what he looks like. And I love it because his hammer, his Stormbreaker, actually has lightning in it. There you go. And everything. I love it. I love it. My one complaint about these Marvel Funkos, I love them to death. He will probably come out of the package. I don't know if no, probably Stormbreaker will. I have to I'm working on shelves. When things start to become an office, these will probably come out of their box, and I will have a Funko shelf somewhere or a Funko something somewhere. Maybe it'll be on top of the bookshelf, or maybe it will be on the wall. I'll build like a shelf that I can put these on, but these guys will probably both be coming out of their packaging. This guy goes for a lot of money online. It's crazy how store exclusives and stuff, if you don't get them like right away, how fast they disappear and go up in price. Oh, also, if you want to know when the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill, that is Mighty Thor issue 337. I think I have this book. That'd be funny if I had it in my collection. I don't know. I have so many books from when I was younger in my collection. I'm going to put these guys here for now. There are so many books that I had when I was younger, when I was just collecting Spider-Man, that I just threw into my collection because someone's like, you want this? And I'm like, yeah. And this actually looks like a book I have in my collection. So I'll have to go back and look one day. One day I'll go through all of my old books. We'll see. Maybe make a video series out of it. Not sure. But yeah. So that's really what's been going on. I'm really working on a lot of stuff. I'm really working to build up where I can. And I'm using this time, the stay-at-home order, to really just, not fix things, but like really, I'm using the time that I normally wouldn't have to get things done all around. In comics, in the channel, myself, Shooting Star Universe, the website, everything. I'm trying to kind of round out everything that I'm doing and really cut the fat off of things that I'm not really doing, that I don't want to focus on right now. That's why we're here and why I'm having a great time doing the stuff on this channel. And top 5 will be coming back. Like I said, there's still some top 5s I can do before new comics come out, but I might relax on it just for a little while and then introduce the series for what it's going to be in the first week of June, maybe, when new comics start coming out, because I have a really cool idea, like I said, to connect with top 5. And yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. And I'm looking forward to when TKO stuff comes. I'm looking forward. That's going to be an exclusive video for that box. I'm going to do a full unboxing of everything I ordered from TKO, and I'll share which store I sent it to, which I shared it on social media already. It's JHU. I'm hoping to have a chance to go visit there once everything opens up again in the city. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I'm looking towards doing, and comic companies hopefully will the nation will start reaching out. As we grow, that's where I'll start reaching out and saying, hey, the Dark Avenger Nation is very, they want to hear me talk about this, and I'm very interested in talking about your book. And that goes back to what we're doing on this channel, on this show, where every once in a while, I think it'd be really cool to bring on a guest, whether it be a comic writer or somebody within companies or owners of companies or just random guests, to talk about their work, whether it be a comic book, whether they, like, for example, my friend Matt Kuhn, I was on his podcast. He has a podcast. He had a Kickstarter. He has a books he's working on. He does art. He's a really fun person to follow on Twitter. I will say that. I love watching what he posts online. He is somebody who is he keeps himself busy, and he does a lot of work. And it'd be fun to talk about why he wanted to do his podcast, why, about his comic book, about the stuff he does online. And he does a lot of writing, a lot of writing. And he shares what he does each and every day, this amount of stuff done. And then I have people, like I mentioned, Pat Shan, Rob Multari, who everyone knows I love Nightwolf. We had Dan on the show a long time ago, which was Argo 5. He was a co-host when we brought Dark Avenger Live back as a different type of live show. And I'd love to bring Dan back on to talk about our more Argo 5. He has an imprint now. I'd love to hear the whys. There are so many questions to why he did it, what to expect from it. you know, what's been coming out already. There's a lot of stuff that a lot of really awesome people I'm friends with do. And then there are people that you've never seen on this channel before that I'd love to introduce all of you to on the channel. So maybe even other YouTubers that I frequent, bring them on to talk about comics and what they do online and why they do it. This won't be a regular thing though. Like I said, if it's once a month, that would be a lot for now. I mean, if things build up with that, it might be twice a month, and then twice a month we'll do shows like this where it's a show. But that's the goal. The goal is evolving and moving forward, taking what we're good at on this channel, what the Dark Avenger Nation, what Dark Avenger C86 was known for, building on it, evolving it, and moving forward with it. This is a year of building. Even though we have the stay-at-home order, it's still a year of building, not a year of introducing anything new. This is a year where we're going to build stuff, and then we're going to move forward with it. Even top fives. I know a few of you are like, top five never happened on your channel. No, I am actually part of a top 5 panels on Comic Frontline. I've done certain top 5 videos in the past on this channel, so top 5s have happened on this channel before. They just weren't a series. So I'm just serializing it. You know what I mean? So I'm just making it something now. I'm making it something that I feel it deserves to be. And like I said, as we move forward, I will release a schedule for when all this stuff's happening. A whole video, like I said, that all depends. Right now, my books are still coming monthly. When things start to come back into a normal flow again, we'll talk about how I can start bringing things back in weekly. And then I'd love to do some comic mystery boxes. Marvel Collector Corps works with Amazon directly now. I know there's a comic book one. There are a few comic book ones out there. We'll see. Maybe I don't know if Comic Bento is still around. I haven't heard from Comic Bento in a hot minute, but I'm going to go check it out and see if Comic Bento is still around. But yeah, if you are a comic company and you see this live show, which I'm sure at this point in time you won't, but one day you will, the Dark Avenger Nation is definitely coming your way soon. The idea of involving guests is a great idea. I know you have talked about while we play Xbox. I think it would be a neat idea. Also, hi James. What's going on? So no, yeah, I'm definitely going to be bringing people on, and we're going to see. Let's get through this year of building, and I say this to myself as well. Going to get through this year of building both the channel, the videos, the office, once everything settles down, and then we'll talk about adding or what we're going to be doing moving forward. That's going to be the most fun, is where we get this channel back to the way it was years ago before I went absolutely crazy and changed everything up to begin with. We're going to get this channel back to where it was, and we're going to go even further than we were before. We're going to go further, and it starts with all of you. So if you haven't shared this channel, I hope that you'll consider sharing it with your friends. Share it on social media, anywhere you can, where it will get people's eyes on it and bring people in. Let them watch a video, and if they like it, subscribe, because there's going to be a lot of stuff. Right now, we are in a lull. It is a quiet time in the comic industry because no one is releasing. I'm sorry, I'm backing my computer up a little bit. No one is releasing anything right now. It is a quiet time. So right now, we, first of all, like Dark Avenger Live and Comic Book Weekly, every week we are talking about what we can, what little news that does come out, and then we're just chatting with everybody and talking about some old series that we've been reading, and that's really all we can do. So once we start getting that news again, once we start getting those books again, there's stuff to talk about again. There'll be stuff to talk about, and that's where I feel like things are going to start to really move. So please, anyone watching, I never ask for anything, ever. I've mentioned Patreon. I've never asked anybody to back it. If you want to back it, again, it benefits the channel. There is one thing I ask, and only one thing, and it is the simplest, no-cost request, and that is to share the channel, to get it out there to people. Because the only way people are going to find the Dark Avenger Nation is if the Dark Avenger Nation is out there sharing it with the world. I'm doing my part. I'm sharing as many places as humanly possible. Now I have to rely on all of you as well to share in places where you frequent, where you are. And that is the only way we are going to grow. And again, I will be here and I will be giving everyone 1010% of myself because I'm here for everyone. I would not be doing this content. I wouldn't be doing this live show right now if it wasn't because I wanted to be here for all of you. If I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't. I'm here for everyone who has subscribed for this channel, who has not found this channel yet, but will find this channel, who has found this channel, who's been here from the beginning, who's been here from the middle, who just joined about a week ago. I'm here for my viewers. I'm here for all of you. I'm here for the Dark Avenger Nation. I'm here to entertain. I'm here to talk about comics. I'm here to discuss comics. I'm here to talk about news. I'm here to keep people informed about what's going on in the comic realm. And I'm here to reach out to comic companies to get them to see the nation and then for them to send us stuff to see what they're doing. I'm here to show what companies are doing. And it doesn't have to be Marvel. It doesn't have to be DC. I would love to do everything. Believe me, there are hundreds of books out there. I don't know any one person that can read every single book that comes out every single week. But I'm here for all of you. And I am here to share the companies that make the books, that want people that like reading books, such as everybody who watches this channel. They want all of you to know about books because they're their books especially. So I'm here for all of you, and I am here to get those books out to all of you, to talk about all those books with all of you. And I will continue to reach out to companies. I've reached out to TKO. I'm going to reach out to them again. I will be reaching out to every single company one by one as the nation grows more and more, and I will continue to try until either I get a cease and desist order or I finally get through to somebody and they're like, okay, what can we do? What are you looking for? Or let's work together. I don't know. I've worked with Radical Comics. Radical Comics was one of the most extremely, it was an extreme trip, and it was so much fun talking about every single book that came out of Radical. It was a blast. It was Radical. It really was. And Radical took a chance on this channel, and we definitely shared every single book that they sent us. It took a while. It took some time because they were trade paperbacks, and it was over the course of several reviews. We got them all out there, but Radical Comics made some really awesome books, and wrote some really awesome stories. And I'm glad to say that there are a few people that went to Radical and bought some of those books, that saw those books on the Dark Avenger comic book review. So that's the goal, is to entertain all of you, to be here for each and every one of you who want to be here, who enjoy watching the stuff that I do on this channel, and for me to be here for the companies as well, to share the stuff that they want readers to be, that they are doing to entertain people, to share that with all of you. It's so hard to say that. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying that. I'm here to share what other companies are doing to entertain all of the readers. I'm here to share their hard work as well and talk about their hard work. And at the same time, I'm here for all of you to tell all of you what really awesome books there are out there. And the comic industry has never been as great, in my opinion, as it is right now. There are so many different books out there. There are so many books out there. Not counting the big two, there are hundreds of books out there. Counting the big two, there are thousands of books out there. Every week, you're talking a good 200 to 300 books. That might be an over-exaggeration. I'm not sure. But there are so many different titles out there now. Marvel, DC, Boom, IDW, Image, Valiant. I think I said Boom Studios, but I'm going to say it again anyway. Boom Studios. They're everywhere. AWA, brand new company. They're starting up. There are so many books, and there is a book for everyone. My philosophy is there is a book for everyone out there. If you're a Ranger fan, there's a Power Ranger book out now. If you like the Cape superheroes, Marvel and DC's got you covered. If you like something that isn't superheroes, if you want superheroes but not from the big two, Spawn, Image, IDW, they've got you covered. If you like Turtles, IDW's got you covered. If you were a fan of Valiant back in the 90s, and I think it was the early 2000s, I could be wrong, but if you're a fan of Valiant, they've got your superhero itch covered. If you are into Hellboy, Dark Horse has you covered. Same thing with Aliens, Predator. They're all from Dark Horse. Star Wars is at Marvel, and IDW actually has some young reader Star Wars, young reader Marvel, because they're working together with Marvel now a little bit. And there's a book out there for anyone and everyone. And again, there's mangas as well. That's another thing. I would love to get back into reading some more manga at some point. That would be great. But there's a lot of books out there, and that's what makes being a part of the comic community so amazing, because there's so much to talk about. There truly and honestly will never be a shortage of books. Literally, I'm looking at 2 piles of comic books that I was able to buy that I didn't buy when they came out, that I got over the course of a month and a half of no new comic books. There's always going to be a good story out there somewhere, whether it be new, old, future. You never know. There's something out there, and these are exciting times. I feel like the comic industry right now is the buzz. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's getting excited about it. And like I said, you've got the digital movement, you got the physical movement. All I ask from any company is that you release digital and physical copies. There's a digital company. I was listening to my good friend Second Street Marvel. He's a person I'm subscribed to, which apparently I was wondering why I hadn't seen a new video from him in a while. And apparently, thanks YouTube, unsubscribed me to him. I resubscribed to him recently. And he was talking about a company that releases their first issue digitally. And then if you like it, you can buy the trade paperback either digitally or physically. And that's cool. That's a way to go. TKO releases all of their books. Either you can buy the 6 issues, the 6 single issues in a box set, or you can buy the trade paperback. They literally are like Netflix. You binge the whole first volume right there and then. There's no monthly, this comes out 1 month and then issue 2 is the next month. They literally have the whole arc done, printed, and set out to go, whether it be in single issues or a trade paperback. And that's another cool way to read. A binge read that's why TKO got me very interested, because TKO is not a monthly, 1 issue a month. They literally write the entire arc, and then you could choose, like I said, the single issues or the trade paperback, and you read the entire first arc right there and then. It's like I said, it's like binge watching on Netflix, except it's comics. So you're binge reading the entire arc at once, and it's cool. Jeff Lemire is involved. There are some other big names. Jeff Lemire sticks in my mind though, because his book is the one that I'm interested in reading possibly first. I think. I'm not sure, but they are a really cool company. There's a lot of really awesome companies out there. And yeah, we are going to reach out to as many as we can, as much as we can. And then at the same time, we're also going to be working on Celestial Falcon. So my book, or the book that I created that Brant and I are writing, we're going to be talking about Celestial Falcon. And while I'm talking about other people's books, while I'm reviewing other comic books, I'm also going to be creating comics and putting stories out there as well. The one thing I hate, my one pet peeve, and I never did this on my channel, and if I did it so rare that it either only happened once or twice, and it's the people that will sit there and tear apart a book, both metaphorically and physically, and then sit there and go, oh, and I just created my own comic book. Come over to my Indiegogo or whatever funding program they use and say, and back up and buy my book. You just literally tore into that book and then tore it up. You showed absolutely no respect for whatever comic it is, from whatever company it was from. You literally just disrespected another person's work because it didn't fit your agenda, which certain groups have agendas. That's what happens nowadays. And then you have a nerve to say to your viewers, oh, hey, and buy my book, back my book up, because my book is the good book and that book is... No. I will never, ever support somebody who shows a lack of respect or a complete disrespect for other people's work. Look, there are books out there for everyone and anyone. Not every single book is going to be out there for you. Some books you won't agree with. Some books you're going to get mad at. I got mad at the Iceman thing. I'm guilty. I got mad at the whole, it came out of left field. It made no sense. And I didn't read Iceman. And I made the joke that it fueled the fire pits of apocalypse. But did I go and buy an Iceman book and tear it up in front of everybody and talk about how trash it was from the beginning of the book to the end of the book, and then go, hey, by the way, don't forget Celestial Falcon issue number 1's available right now on wow. Completely left my mind. The website completely left my mind. And that's bad. But yeah, my Celestial Falcon issue 1, number 1's available right now. Go and check it out and buy my book. Hell no. Hell no. I did not. And I will never, ever tear up a person's book. That is somebody's hard work. And anyone who does that does not deserve to be backed up with their own book. I don't care how good it is. Show respect for other people before you talk about your work as well, because we're all in the same field, whether you agree with people's agendas or not. Look, let a book go. If the book's bad, you know it's going to end up in the 50-cent bin one day. You know that it's going to be canceled because no one's going to read it. We don't need people to go off and literally dissect the book and say how crap it is. Because if the people don't like it, the book will end. And if the people do like it, the book will continue. Miss Marvel was torn apart by readers for Lord knows how long, and look at where it is now. Miss Marvel is a very strong character in the Marvel Universe. God bless her. I love Miss Marvel. I really do. At first, I was questioning. I didn't hate it. I was questioning. But they didn't get rid of Carol. Carol became Captain Marvel. Made sense. Passing the torch. Nova. Who didn't like Sam? I love Sam. He's one of my favorite Nova characters now. So, again, it's all about respect. You don't have to agree with everybody's agenda. You could think something is complete and utter stupidity. That's fine. But don't go out there and make videos about how the world is coming to, the comic book world and industry is coming to an end because this character is being created and this book is horrible and this is why this company is going to end up closing down. Marvel and DC are never going to close down. Let me be clear. Let me say that again. Marvel Comics, owned by Disney, and DC Comics, owned by Warner Brothers, who make dozens of books, dozens of series, makes hundreds of thousands of dollars, are not going to close down. Granted, there was a bankruptcy in the 90s. There is never going to be a... I mean, it could happen. I'm not saying never, ever, ever. It ain't happening right now. It ain't happening. And they've got very, very rich companies backing them up. So at worst, I see there being less books. I don't see there being no books. But that's just me. What do I know? I'm just a humble comic writer, reviewer, and teller of tales. And that's one that, again, I feel like I have been given the best gift ever. I can sit here. This is the best gift anyone could ever have. I am privileged to sit here and talk to all of you. This website, YouTube, gives me the opportunity to sit here, and I'm blessed to have this opportunity to sit here and have the privilege of talking with a million amazing people about comic books. I wish this was around when I was a teenager, when I was in junior high school. Shit, I never would have. I would have had people to talk about comics. I probably would have gotten into more comics back when I was younger instead of when I started doing my comic reviews. And that's what the beauty of the internet is. But of course, with the beauty also comes the toxicity, and we just have to avoid it, ignore it, and hope that one day it either goes away or it gets quiet enough where you could just ignore it. And that's the important thing. And Etsy. Wow. Took a minute. Celestial Falcon issue number 1 is available on Last Ember Press's Etsy, along with Ember and a few other awesome books written by the Last Ember Press crew. Wow. Took me that long to remember the website. Etsy.com. But yes, I don't know why I went on that tangent. I guess it was festering inside of me for a bit. I didn't name anyone, but I mean, I named Second Street Marvel, but he didn't do that. Second Street Marvel, I love watching he does a morning stream where he'll talk about comics and talk about several different things. It's entertaining to sit there and listen to him. I was listening to him. He was on when I premiered my Marvel going to a digital series, and then an hour or two later, he did his live stream. I missed him live, but I got to watch it post live. I had a good time watching. I mean, he's a fun guy to watch. He's got energy, and that's what it is. And he's here just to talk. He's not here to be anything. He's just here to make friends, to talk about comics, to talk about whatever. And I respect that, and I love it. And that's why I'm subscribed to Second Street Comics. You should check him out. He's a really fun guy. I enjoy watching his stuff. And he's got a smart insight on digital and physical and whatnot. This isn't a war. We're in the year 2020. Digital and physical have a place. I just don't think one deserves to be above the other. My opinion. My opinion. But I love all the companies. I have no hate in my bones for any company. And yeah, and again, Brian Michael Bendis, I'm going to put this out there now. As a man, as a person, I froze up when I met him at New York Comic Con. He said a joke that, and this is another situation where I go back and I say, if I was in this situation again, what I would say. He said a joke and my mind froze. You can watch the video. It's still on, I think it's Comic Frontline. You could go back and watch that video. And he says the joke and I'm sitting there going, I was in complete shock that I was in Artist Alley and bumped into Brian Michael Bendis, the man who did X-Men, Ultimate Spider-Man. This is before he did Superman. And yeah, okay, I'll sit here and say he's not done a great job with Superman. I don't like his Superman run. I don't agree with him, outing Superman to the world. But as a guy, as a person, he's great. I have nothing against him. All the respect in the world. Again, there are people that do like Superman. He won Entertainment Weekly, I think, Superhero of the Year. They advertised it in all of the Superman books. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a different magazine. But he won Superhero of the Year. It's awesome for Superman. But I don't like his Superman run. I love his New Avengers. I loved his Ultimate Spider-Man. Don't like his Superman. And yes, Superman is the character that brought me into comics. Superman is my absolute favorite #1 superhero in the world. Right now, he's not where I want him to be. But again, it goes back to I don't own the character and I can't claim ownership. I grew up loving him. I grew up reading him. And there is in my mind, a way I want Superman to be. But, we get connected to characters as readers. There's that one character that we feel like, not ownership, like that's my character, but at the same time, we have that this is how this character should be. So whenever somebody does something different, automatic, it's like, nope, that's not how it should be. Reboot or rechange or find a way to undo it. And I don't claim ownership to Superman, but man, I miss reading a Superman story like the way it was in the 90s. I think Dan Jurgens was doing an amazing job. I think Peter J. Tomasi had a great story to tell with Superman. And I don't know. Superman is the character, is the person that I looked up to as a kid. And growing up and reading, I love Superman. There was nothing about Superman I didn't like. And then the New 52 happened, and that was 5 years of hell. And then we got Superman back, and now I'm not really a fan of Bendis' running. Oh, I won't start talking. John Romita Jr., I get mad because after seeing John Romita Jr.'s artwork from the 80s compared to now, I cannot understand how an artist who did that amazing in the 80s went so other way now. I am not a fan of John Romita Jr.'s art, and there are very few people I think that are. But for those of you that are, that's great. But Action Comics, I can't get into that art. I cannot get into John Romita Jr.'s art. And I don't like Jay Lee's art either. Outside of The Dark Tower, I don't like Jay Lee's art. It didn't fit Superman Batman when he did it. And it didn't fit those variant covers. I'm just not a fan of Jay Lee's artwork either. There are artists and writers that we're all not fans of. And I liked Grant Morrison's Justice League. Don't like his Green Lantern run. I guess it's a preference. Some people do love Grant Morrison's Green Lantern run, and that's awesome. He's got a season 2 going right now. What will happen next, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe I'll get back into Green Lantern when the Grant Morrison run is over. But he's too out there for me when it comes to Green Lantern. But that's the beauty of it. See, I just said it. I'm not reading Green Lantern right now. I may come back and try it again later when there's a new team. Dan Slott is on Fantastic Four and Iron Man. Didn't really feel his Iron Man. His Fantastic Four is touch and go, up and down. Some books I like, some I don't. When Iron Man gets a new team, I'm going to check it out again. I'm going to see if I like it then. I haven't. I have one book of Iron Man, but I haven't liked Iron Man for a very long time. Just the way it is. I haven't read Iron Man for a very long time and stuck with it. I'm trying to remember that arc. The Superior Iron Man, was it? No. The one where he was changed, where he was a different guy, kind of person because of what happened during Axis. That was insane. But yeah, everybody has a preference. Everybody has a preference, and that's what makes it beautiful. And that's why having billions of different reviewers on YouTube is important. So I'm just glad for those of you that do check out this video or any of my videos on my channel. I'm glad that you come over to my corner of the realm, so to speak, and I appreciate that. And I hope you pick up some of my stuff that I write as I write them. And there's a bunch of stuff that Brant and I are working on. Like I said, right now we're working on Celestial. I have tons of other stories from other walks of life that I will, as time moves forward, maybe they'll come to light. We'll see. And I have a written series I'm going to be sharing on Shooting Star Universe. That's going to be exclusive for shootingstaruniverse.com. So there's that as well. So I talk a lot. I believe I've made up the 20 minutes that I ended up cutting the show short last week on. So I'm going to start wrapping up. Unfortunately, not too many people showed up tonight, but I appreciate JD, Alan, and James, all three of you. I'm so happy you were able to stop by. Anyone who pops by later, feel free to comment below any of your thoughts about anything I talked about or everything I talked about. That'd be great. And till then, as always, you can check out the links in the description below connected to everything I'm doing. It's at Dark Avenger. Actually, I think I can do it here. Yes, I can. It's at Dark Avenger C86 right over here, all across social media, Twitter, Instagram. I love Instagram. I haven't done Instagram in forever. I am getting back into Instagram as of tonight. I'm going to be sharing these Funkos first, and then I've got a couple of figures and a couple other comics that I want to share with the world. So I'm going to get back onto Instagram soon. I have a Tumblr. I never really use it, but most of my social media handle is Dark Avenger C86, except for on Twitch, it's Dark Avenger Gaming. But I'm working on a change on Twitch, so look forward to that soon-ish. So, and also don't forget to check out shootingstaruniverse.com. I literally just spoke the entire beginning half of the show about writing. Writing is definitely coming soon to the site. Plus, all the stuff I do all across the board on the internet also is there. So it's basically all the stuff I work on in one nice place. So thank you all so much for being here, whether it's live or via video. Love each and every one of you out there. Stay safe, stay healthy, keep reading, keep collecting, and I will see all of you really soon in the next one.